Recently in Lagos, Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai ruffled feathers when he encouraged Lagosians to get rid of their political godfathers. Well, APC chieftain, the national chairman of the APC, Bola Tinubu, took a personal offense to that, feeling it was directed at him. That has led to a back and forth between the two APC chieftains, which has led a lot of people to ask, is there a struggle for supremacy going on in the APC? And that's the topic of our discussion right here on Root Cause. My name is Gloria Oji Emode. In the studio to have this conversation right here, we have Dr. Kach Ononuju, who is a public affairs analyst. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, we have Malakai Uzendu, who's the editor-in-chief of the Authority newspaper. Welcome.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Dr. Kach, let's start with you. What are your thoughts about what's going on between Bola Tinubu and Governor El-Rufai? Some people are saying this is really all about the fight for 2023. That true?
No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with 2023. This is what we predicted. The APC is not a national political party. It's only a political platform owned by President Buhari and Senator Bola Tinubu. And it was simply supposed to be a platform to allow President Buhari realize his presidential ambition. He has gotten 2 terms as announced by INEC. They believe that platform has outlived its usefulness. So what you've seen Governor El-Rufai do is simply a proxy war. He is a proxy for his own faction of the power elite in the APC. They will not be loyal to Bola Tinubu, who now seems to dominate the ownership of the National Working Committee of the APC. So they seem not to really be willing to play with him. As far as they are concerned, his business is with President Buhari, and they have nothing with him. They are now sounding the alarm about the intention to break away to who, since he already has control of the NWC of the APC, they will not fall under him.
All right, here's a question before I come to Mr. Uzendu. You know, quite recently there was a bit of, chatter that maybe all isn't well between President Buhari and Bola Tinubu. That was before they broke bread together just recently. Now, we know that when the president was in Lagos, Bola Tinubu didn't show up. And of course, during the Bola Tinubu colloquium, the president chose to attend a lesser function instead of being there for Bola Tinubu, as he has done over the years. Now, a lot of people say even the president may be having problems with Bola Tinubu despite all the pictorial, display that all may be well.
No, that's normal. What you're seeing is normal. Historically, President Buhari is not reliable. He cannot be relied upon to keep promises. There's nothing he's pledged to do that he's done. So for Bola Tinubu, this is the history itself. It's come back to repeat itself. The use of him is finished. He is now making his own way. And for President Buhari to actually come to Lagos to promote Ambode's achievements and commission his work, a man that Tinubu has rejected, of course you know what that means. So For Tinubu, he's already calculating those who will be under his game, and Ambode is not there. So for Buhari to come there and seem to play a pass mark for Ambode, Tinubu wouldn't be part of that. So that's why you saw El-Rufai now move in to tell him, after all, we don't need you anymore.
I'll come back to you on that, especially the faction of the APC that has El-Rufai in charge. Talking about this, Malaka Uzendu, I mean, give us your assessment of what's going on, especially with the back and forth or the war of words between Tinubu and El-Rufai. Do you agree with his summation, or you have a different theory of what's happeing in the APC?
To a large extent, I think he's correct. If you recall, the late Dr. Chubu Okadibu, there was something he refers to as realignment of political forces. And those are the things. And you normally expect that in a ruling political party, where the president, the incumbent president, has opportunity of running 2 terms. So they know that that is the end of his game. And so people who are also having some interest will be popping up, trying to throw one idea or the other that could try to rupture the internal systems, as it were, so that it will help them to play up. I think that beyond playing a larger agenda, El-Rufai also has a very serious political interest that he is equally pushing forward.
Which is?
Perhaps to either take over from Buhari or to bring up somebody that will be loyal to him from the southern part of the country.
A lot of us are watching, as a matter of fact. Coming back to you, Dr. Katch, you made a comment. You said there's a faction loyal to El-Rufai. Who are they? Would you have a group
it's not a faction loyal to El-Rufai. You have a lot of what I would say players from the north who would not play Tinubu's game. Today, in the national setting, President Buhari is there from the old CPC. Senator Tinubu is there from the old ACN. Osinbanjo is there from the old ACN. Now, Tinubu also wants to install the senior president and the Speaker of House of Representatives. So, and in Nigerian political history, nobody allows one man to pocket everything. And Tinubu doesn't play a politics of Shia. He doesn't know that. The problem he has is the old 1960s issue, which Ahmadu Bello properly illustrated. It's okay for me to stay in the north and become a master. If I go national, I will be diminished. If Tinubu comes national, he'll be diminished. Nobody will accept his style of politics of me for everything. No, it's not going to work in Nigeria.
Interesting.
So what we're now seeing, the APC as a political platform, don't forget, the APC never was able to metamorphose into a national political party. No, it remained a political platform owned by Tinubu and President Buhari. It finishes duty. It will now politely die like an infant that was probably giving birth to do certain things, and after those things, it dies.
So for all intents and purposes, this may just be the clipping of wings of Tinubu, an attempt...
No, this is the beginning of the end of the APC as a national political platform.
So you're seeing this struggle for supremacy or whatever consuming the party entirely.
If the party is gone, forget about it. You're likely, and that's a bad thing about the country, you're likely now to have only the PDP remaining the only national political party. As I speak to you, there is no iota of representation of the APC in Southeast Nigeria, and only one single state exists with the APC in South Nigeria.
But even if that were the case, it wasn't enough for them to win the elections for the PDP. So even at that, some people, APC still has a very...
No, you're wrong, please. The election, president election, was won by the landslide by Atiku Abubakar. That's why they are in court. Never mind what was done.
That's still contested, sir. I have to say that. That is still contested. So at the moment, you really cannot say that Atiku Abubakar won the elections until the tribunal and the courts declare that.
Because the bandwagon remained with Atiku Abubakar, and he took Kanu, took Bauchi, took Adamawa, took Sokoto.
All of those things are to be proven in court, which they are right now. And even as we speak, they are deliberating those matters. But then let's talk about the fact that, APC, you say, is disappearing. And of course, you were nodding your head when that happened. But there are a significant number of people who are in the APC who will continue to play politics. So what do you think will happen to the members of the APC if if what Dr. Catch says happens, do we see a splitting into two parties, or do we see a brand new party, the APC, eventing itself to something else?
Most Nigerian politicians don't play politics of ideology. And so they will just find another platform and go there and begin to exercise their rights, so to speak. Now, if you look at, like, it's not as if I'm swallowing everything hook, line, and sinker, from what Dr. Onanuju said. But the fact remains that if you look at APC, they've always found it very difficult to convene something as little as National Working Committee meetings, not to talk of NEC. So it's very difficult for them to do that. And the reasons are that the party is not a truly political party, as it were. These were machineries that are being propelled by two individuals, like he said. Now, the tendency is that when President Buhari completes his tenure, or like he proposed, if Atiku is able to upturn the table and then assume the presidency, of course, Buhari will go back to Daura, and in his normal nature, he will not talk to them at APC, and the APC will die.
Okay.
So what most of them will do will be to find beds somewhere. Some will come back to PDP, some will go to other political parties.
And the PDP will absorb them?
Of course.
You see, that is what is so confusing about the Nigerian political scene. It's just the ease at which politicians cross carpet. The ease at which all of these things change. People are even wondering, why in the world do we have to invest any attention or any of our passion into what these politicians are fighting for? Because at the end of the day, it feels like if you're going to cross carpet, if APC disintegrates and some of them comes back to the PDP, why in the world is anybody even paying attention?
No, mind you, there is freedom of association.
Yes,
and political parties are associations that people can freely belong to.
Yes, it's like a church.
And so you can go in and go out at any point in time.
Interesting. Please, we would like to have your comments on the things that we have talked about right now. Most especially some of those comments that probably the APC is about to disintegrate, according to Dr. Catch. You still stand by that?
Of course, that is just the natural way. You will see that all of them will come back to the PDP.
Wow. What are your thoughts on that?
Not just only PDP. There are other political parties. That's why I disagree with you.
Okay.
And the ACN is likely to come back with force.
Your thoughts right now, we want to hear them on the comment section of the video. A big thank you, of course, to you, Dr. Kachi Onanuju, for taking our time to talk to us. And of course, Malachi Uzendi, thanks for your thoughts. All right, you've been watching Root Cause right here on Roots TV Nigeria. My name is Gloria Oji Emon.